To the class of 2020, many of you were born or had just been born when the world was grieving and reacting to 9/11. Now, almost 19 years later, you are graduating high school during a pandemic. Although these two major experiences might have left you somewhat tarnished, I know what you have gained will allow you to soar like no others. As a marine science teacher and a thalassophile, I want to leave the class of 2020 with a few life lessons from the ocean. So the striped bass. This fish can migrate thousands of miles up and down the East Coast, but when it comes time to lay eggs, they must return to the rivers and streams where they began. The eggs and larvae cannot live without the high oxygen content water the quick-moving rivers provide. Once big enough, they will join their relatives in the Atlantic Ocean. Life lesson from a striped bass: there's no place like home. Phylum Cnidaria, the jellyfish. They have two distinct stages of life. In the polyp stage, they more closely resemble a small sea anemone. Once they mature, small flower-like pieces break off, turn upside down, and become the floating medusa stage that we usually think of as jellyfish. Life lesson from a jellyfish: grow where you are planted, then sprout off and explore the world. Gray whales. Gray whale mothers nurse their babies for 6 to 8 months, giving them rich milk, which allows them to quickly gain the blubber they will need in colder waters. However, the mother barely eats during that time and loses a third of her body weight. She is near exhaustion by the time she and her calf begin their 10,000-mile migration to the Bering Sea. Life lesson from a gray whale: your parents love you very much, want the best for you always, and will do just about anything to make sure you succeed. Phylum Porifera, sponges. They're marine animals with one amazing characteristic found in no other living creature. If passed through a fine mesh, the sponge will be divided into nearly individual cells. Left in seawater, the cells will migrate back together and begin growing as a sponge again. So life lesson from a sponge: sometimes something will knock you for a loop and you will literally go to pieces. Shake it off, take some time, pull yourself together, and get back with your life. Phylum Echinodermata, the sea stars. They exhibit amazing powers of regeneration. If one arm of a sea star is removed, a new one will grow and replace it. Life lesson from a sea star: when something is taken from you, it is horrible, but believe in yourself, be patient, and something else will replace it. Sea turtles. Sea turtle hatchlings have to make their way from their nest on shore to the open ocean alone. From the time they take their first swim until they return to the coastal ocean to forage as juveniles can take up to a decade, and is called the lost years because they are so hard to track. So life lesson from a sea turtle: don't wander away unseen for 10 years. Come back and visit, but remember to check in at the office and do so after school hours.